So, Senator, just a few minutes ago, you said, and correctly, the country is suffering. There are many people out of work, but you would like to open safely, follow the science, protect small business, and all of that. But Republican Florida Governor DeSantis, for example, recently lifted all coronavirus restrictions on businesses, allowing bars and restaurants to open at full capacity without a mask mandate. He said they won't be closing anything going forward. Now, what's your response to Governor DeSantis's policy, one, and would you do the same thing in Texas if you could?
So, yes, we should reopen, and I actually think if you look at Florida, if you look at Texas, the death rates have been much, much lower there than, for example, states like New York, New Jersey, states with Democratic governors where the death rates have been enormously through the roof. New York, in particular, has led the country in death rate, and I think it had a lot to do with the Democratic governor there, Governor Cuomo, sending people who had COVID into nursing homes. Well, the death rate is 3 times as high as the death rate in Texas or Florida. I'm sorry?
I'm talking about Florida right now, not New York. New York got hit very early, and a lot of people were coming in without any kind of sanctions on it.
But the government policy was different, and the policy made a difference. The government policy was different, and the policy made a difference. The policy of the governors of New York and New Jersey of sending people who were COVID positive into nursing homes was catastrophic, and it resulted in a horrific death rate. No, I'm saying we should actually listen to sound science and protect people and keep them safe.
Let me jump in here. It's a slight pivot here.
I'd like to jump in.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Whoopi. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to say I do want to point out that had the man who is running the country right now given us this information in January when he had it, when we could have maybe done something a little differently, it might have worked differently. I just wanted to point that out. It's not about whose people died more. People died and they didn't have to. Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, I just wanted to really quick ask Senator Cruz, just a day after the late Justice Ginsburg laid in state at the Capitol, Senate Republicans started selling notorious ACB T-shirts. Do you think that was in poor taste, considering that Justice Ginsburg had a career to build up that status, that the faces aren't just interchangeable?
Well, listen, I knew Justice Ginsburg. I argued in front of Justice Ginsburg in the court 9 times. She was brilliant. She was a legendary Supreme Court advocate, and she, by any measure, is one of the most consequential justices in history. You know what I would encourage you, I recognize the host of this show, y'all's politics are different than mine, and I think it's actually good we're having a conversation. Too often, left and right don't talk to each other, and we just kind of yell at each other. And one thing I would suggest, if you want to understand why so many millions of Americans care passionately about the Supreme Court and about justices who will protect free speech and religious liberty in the Second Amendment, I would encourage you actually to read the book I just came out with, One Vote Away. Even if you're not going to agree with it, I would just encourage it. Because I think it will help. We want to help folks understand why religious liberty is so important. Free speech is so important.
Thanks to Senator Ted Cruz, his new book, One Vote Away, a single Supreme Court